My name is Katz Cowley, and I illustrated a book called Wonky Donkey, which was my first of currently 6 babies. I am also a passionate facilitator of journaling workshops and classes, and also a passionate journaler. Getting into the zone is, for me, I guess, it's very much based on the spontaneity of the moment and being present, which can be much easier to say than to actually do. But for me, creativity is it's a pathway to accessing being present and also being creatively engaged. So getting into the zone, for me, I just play with, and it's very based in playfulness and a willingness to go on an exploration, I guess. So I've found these pathways that work for me, and the more pathways I work with creatively with just an exploration, the more I discover and the more things open up. So I do things like drawing in the movies in the dark. I have my journal on my lap and I'm just sitting watching a movie and completely absorbed and engaged and not even thinking about what's happening on my lap, because it's a process of its own that I can't even see. And then when I come out, I'll look at what's there, and that in itself is a magical process, just to see what's there, and then to just work into what I see on the page. It might be something to do with, just hearing conversations that are happening around me, or drawing people around me, or even seeing something like a splat of bird poo on the side and finding a fantastic shape in there. And I think the more creatively engaged we are in everyday life, the more we see it and the more it opens up our vision. So for me, getting into the zone is an ongoing, ever-opening exploration, really, I guess. I had an amazing experience once, actually, where I was working on I had a lot of feelings of anger, and I didn't know how to process them, but I felt a lot of anger, and it didn't even have a story connected to it. It was just a feeling. And I actually had an open artist studio at the time, so I had the public coming through. It was a public space. But I went into this place of, I just needed to channel this anger into an artwork and to process the anger. And I was usually very connected to people coming in and very polite and having conversations, and I went into this place where I just completely immersed myself in the journey of processing, channeling this anger creatively. And it was very fascinating, because the people that came through my studio space at the time no one needed to connect with me. It was almost like they could feel I was in this zone. And I processed the feelings in an amazing way, and it led me on a very deep journey through choosing colours, creating forms that totally related to where I was at. And I worked through it to a point of transmuting that anger into a place of passion, of sensuality, it was like the other end of that same scale of what anger is, which is, it's a passionate emotion, but I transmuted it into a place of feeling deeply in touch with my own vitality, sensuality, even sexuality through this piece. And I actually felt completely transformed through that. And so it didn't just take me away from what I was feeling, it actually helped me to process through it and come to another. It was like a bridge, and it was a really amazing journey in the process as well. So just showing the power. It's magic. Art is just, it's I don't believe a lot of people think it's a luxury to be creative. It's a necessity. It's something that's deeply powerful, and we can process, we can delve deeply, and we can inquire into where we're at and what's going on inside of us, as well as process through to different terrain within ourselves. There's definitely healing in the creative process. Definitely, there's a lot of art therapists. More and more in the world, and it's such it's becoming a recognised process.
Yeah.
It is, it's amazing. It's been a therapy for me, and it's been something where I've processed my own experiences and looked more deeply into myself and understood things just through writing, through creating through working with colour, and the spontaneity of it. For me, spontaneity is a big part of that. To give that zone a shape, a form, it's kind of formless. It's interesting. It's like I guess I see it like a portal. It's like a portal, and it's almost like a birthing canal. It's like a place of journeying into new realms, deeper places in ourselves. Imagery for the zone. Wow, yeah, it is. I guess I see it like a tunnel. This tunnel that opens up and opens up.
Yeah.
The deeper we go, the deeper we go. I guess we spend a lot of time thinking about what the world wants and thinking from the outside in, which is really important, but actually a powerful inquiry. We're all human, we all have the same kind of ingredients and needs and insecurities, and our basic need is to connect and love and be loved. And I guess by processing and journeying deeper into our own selves through creativity, we can understand each other better. There's a lot of potential to serve others when we really connect with ourselves and connect on a human level. I think that's a very powerful formula for business, is to connect on a human level, be authentic. And for me, the creative process is really deeply rooted in an inquiry into who we are authentically, and that's where the spontaneity leads us into that. Who am I? Where am I at? What does that feel like? What does it look like? So yeah, I'd say authenticity and connecting with ourselves, and potentially to connect us more deeply with each other. And the way we live is like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? What are the steps I need to get there? And what's the end product going to look like? And it's all very goal focused. With the creative process and all of the scope for the therapeutic side of it, and the magic therein, it's a kind of reverse of that. So for me, on my journey and the way I work, it's focused on being spontaneous first, not even thinking, not even naming the emotions or what the process is going to be. It's just being in it and just going on a journey, seeing what comes out on the page, allowing it to be, not needing to be in charge of it, to label it, to know where it's going, not even driving it. It's an opportunity to just sit back and observe and allow. And in that process, then afterwards we get to look at it and feel deeply into it and let that image take us on a journey of understanding where we're at, where we're coming from. And from that spontaneity, we start to understand what is going on, interpreting that image, and even building into it and working colours in and starting to understand. So for me, it's a backwards process. It's not about knowing what it's going to look like or how it's even going to feel. It's just letting it take you on a journey.